In less than a month, the U.S. Supreme Court will be hearing what I believe is one of the most important cases in, could be a century. On December the 1st, the case is called Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. Now, this comes out of the state of Mississippi. Mississippi passed a law that bans most abortions after 15 weeks. Now, this is, legally speaking, it is a direct challenge of the 1973 Roe versus Wade Supreme Court decision that has resulted in the loss of 60 million unborn lives, the taking of 60 million unborn babies, their lives, through abortion. Now, the church has been praying, repenting for abortion, but now, really for the first time in 48 years, before the Supreme Court will be a case that many believe, given the makeup of the Supreme Court, could upend Roe v. Wade and send this issue of abortion back to the states, where already states have in place trigger mechanism, many states, that would outlaw abortion if given the opportunity by the court. In anticipation of this significant court case, on November the 28th, we will be joining with folks from border to border, coast to coast, to pray for the court, pray for those arguing before the court, pray for this issue, pray for our nation. We will be having a prayer gathering, Pray Together for Life. We will be in Jackson, Mississippi, at New Horizon Church, where our gracious host, Bishop Ronnie Crudup, is the senior pastor and the founder of the church, and he joins me now to talk more about this event on November the 28th. Bishop, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Well, thank you for being willing to host us there in Jackson, Mississippi. In fact, we've already been down there. We had a luncheon for pastors and pro-life leaders, and it was a phenomenal event, a very diverse gathering. This issue, when you look at the church community across ethnic lines, across denominational lines, even across political lines, they're ready to deal with this issue, are they not?
I believe they are. One of the things that I've said to people over and over again, that particularly with the African-American church is predominantly pro-life. Sometimes they don't get an opportunity to say that much as maybe they should. But that meeting that we had was a good indicator of that.
Well, it should be. When you look at the numbers don't lie. The African-American community has been disproportionately affected by abortion. When you look at entities like Planned Parenthood and others, they set up their clinics in minority communities. I mean, it is time for the nation to hear, I believe, from the African-American community on this issue of abortion. And while this isn't a rally, this isn't anything other than a prayer meeting, but it will be a joining together of Black, white, Hispanic, of conservative, maybe not so conservative, but we're coming together on one issue, and we're finding unity on this issue of life.
Well, I think that's because, people, they understand that their silence has, of course, affected this. They've been complicit in their silence, and now is an opportunity, maybe like we have not seen in a long, long time, to affect change in this. And so I believe that has pulled together a coalition of church folk, denominational folk, that also may be unprecedented
right.
that in the past.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let me ask you this, Bishop, as a pastor, as a spiritual leader, the devaluing of human life that we've seen through abortion, do you think that's had broader implications for our society?
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I think when you devalue the life in the womb, you devalue your life across the board. And we certainly have experienced that in the African-American community. Once again, when you devalue life, it doesn't just stay at the womb. It affects people all across life. And so this is something, as we seek to change violent circumstances in the African American community, this is one of the places that we affect that change.
One final question for you. We're almost out of time, Bishop. Is the church ready for the court to upend Roe v. Wade and send this issue back to the states?
I believe it is. I absolutely believe it is. And I want to say that, too, for me, this happening because of something that comes out of Mississippi is once again, for me, God, okay, as well as quite ironic. And so we believe that change starts in Mississippi.
Well, and we pray that it begins in Mississippi as we gather on November the 28th. Bishop, I want to thank you for hosting that event, and I want to thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your leadership.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and we're encouraging everybody to come out and be with us at New Horizon on this date. Come on out.
That's right. I know we got a lot of listeners in Mississippi. We'll make room for you. And if you'd like more information, no matter where you